and it continues for another 40 years, the United States will see 2,800,000 young people die from fentanyl overdoses, which is not produced in our Latin America. It will see millions of African Americans imprisoned in its private jails. The imprisoned black person will become a business for prison companies. They will die murdered. Another million Latin Americans will fill our waters and our green fields with blood. You will see the dream of democracy die both in my America and in Anglo-Saxon America. Democracy will die where it was born, in the great Western European Athens. By hiding the truth, you will see the jungle and democracies die. The war on drugs has failed. The fight against the climate crisis has failed. Deadly consumption of soft drugs has increased, and people have moved on to harder ones. A genocide has taken place on my continent. And in my country, millions of people have been sentenced to prison to hide their own social guilt. They have blamed the jungle and its plants. They have filled speeches and policies with nonsense. From here, from my wounded Latin America, I demand that you put an end to the irrational war on drugs. Reducing drug consumption does not require wars or weapons. It requires that we all build a better society, a more caring, more compassionate society, where the intensity of life saves us from addictions and new forms of slavery. Do you want fewer drugs? Think less about profits and more about love. Think about exercising power rationally. Do not taint the beauty of my homeland with your poisons. Help us without hypocrisy to save the Amazon rainforest in order to save humanity's life on this planet. You gathered the scientists and they spoke with reason, with mathematics, and with climate models. They said the end of the human species was approaching. That our time is no longer measured in millennia, not even in centuries. Science sounded the alarm and we stopped listening. War served as our excuse not to take the necessary measures. When action was needed most, when speeches were no longer enough, when it was essential to put money into the funds to save humanity. When we needed to move away from coal and oil as quickly as possible, they invented one war after another. They invaded Ukraine, but also Iraq, Libya, and Syria. They invaded in the name of oil and gas. In the 21st century, they discovered their worst addiction, the addiction to money and oil. Wars have served as their excuse not to act against the climate crisis. Wars have shown them just how dependent they are on what will ultimately destroy the human species. If you see that people are plagued by hunger and thirst and migrate by the millions to the north to where the water is, then you lock them up. You build walls, deploy machine guns, shoot at them, expel them as if they were not human beings. You multiply fivefold the mentality of those who politically created gas chambers and concentration camps. You are reproducing 1933 on a planetary scale. The day of the great triumph of the assault on reason. Can you not see that the solution to the great exodus unleashed upon your northern countries is to bring water back to the rivers and nutrients back to the fields? The climate disaster fills us with viruses that swarm and devastate us, but you do business with medicines and turn vaccines into commodities. You propose that the market will save us from what the market itself has created, the Francoist one. The fate of humanity, you say, is to let the market and greed act without planning, surrendering our minds and reason, bowing human rationality to greed. What is the point of war if what we need is to save the human species? What is NATO and the empires good for if what is coming is the end of intelligence? The climate disaster will kill hundreds of millions of people. And listen well, it is not caused by the planet, it is caused by capital.
Adiós a las filtraciones. Este recubrimiento impermeabilizante garantiza la protección de tu techo y paredes por hasta